That nickel 9. Yeah. 59J. Let me speak my mind up. It's just me keeping it real. Keeping it 100. Let's go. Yeah.
Hey yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed, and like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Man, I got a new song that eventually I'm gonna drop. You know, just speaking my testimony, my truth, and just like I changed the narrative of my YouTube channel, I've changed the narrative of my music, but I also just talk about like certain things about my life, certain perspectives. I think I utilize music more as an outlet because, you know, it's music. As opposed to like I have to be professional on YouTube. I train myself to be professional on YouTube, so I utilize my music, and then I can't wait to drop it. It's gonna make a lot of people mad. But anyways, so this video I'm about to show you guys, as you seen with the thumbnail, we got young kids. I don't know how young they really are, but the way they sound, you know, the premature, you know, puberty voices, they're not very deep. You know, they're not very, you know, like Barry White deep, but they're young kids. And it says the caption that they jumped an OG from Basset. Now there's a couple angles. They literally jumped this older dude from Basset, from Southern California, in front of a paramedics. Stopped traffic. Paramedics had the lights going off. Somebody needed to get rushed to the hospital, was going through cardiac arrest, or needed a prostate exam, and it was an emergency. You know, he was constipated, and they jumped this dude, and they stomped him out. And they're proud of that. They're throwing up their neighborhood, whatever neighborhood they were from. They're banging on them. They disrespect Basket by calling it Casket. And, you know, it made me think of something. Made me think of a few subject matters. But these young kids, man, they were deep. A couple of them, like 3 or 4. Younger dudes. And they managed to take down an older dude who ran. So I don't know what transpired. I don't know what instigated the situation. I don't know what led to this. I don't know if the older dude was banging Basset. Thought these youngsters weren't going to do nothing about it. So there's 2 angles that I gotta hit it from. Watching this video, me being older now, I'm 37 years old now, and you know, it feels good that I've grown up, to be honest with you guys. Feels real good. And I know you're gonna always hear this same comment. Now I'm salty and I'm bitter by actives that can't stand my channel, and it's because they say I've been betrayed by SNY gangs and the northern politics. That's probably the only reason why I do what I do now. Well, you know what? I got to be thankful for my situations. I got to be thankful for my life experiences. And I got to be thankful that I finally grew up and made a change and changed mentally where I can think different and I can perceive different. And I'm allowed to step outside that gang culture and view things from an outside perspective and then share my opinion. And people will agree with that. And that's what I love, that my testimony is supported and shared by others. So I'm glad I'm older, because the other day, no lie, I went to Home Depot and I seen these 3 kids, and in my head I'm like, all right, this is Northern California, and through all my years of experience, you know, I've seen Southerners, but not really in Northern California, all the cities that I've been in. So I go to Home Depot and I see these 3 kids. All of them had dark navy blue sweaters, 3 of them, and 501 jeans. One of them had Vans, the other one had Nikes, like Air Forces, and the other one had Cortezes. Slick back hair. One of them had a hairnet. Old school cafeteria. The older lady, the big chunky older lady that was grumpy, that used to beat the kids with the snacks. Fishnet on his head. Now, I didn't think much of it. I was pushing my basket, and I look at these kids, and I'm like, I remember those days when I used to be that young, but I ain't never hung out in a Home Depot. So I had to go outside towards the back of Home Depot because I had to get some outside appliances, and there was some like scrap metal stuff that they were selling as a little bit cheaper. And I bullcrap you not, next to the couple of stores next to Home Depot that were connected, I see a bunch of kids that were thugged out, gang membered out, looked like Southsiders, they didn't look like Northerners, and they were all behind like these just regular businesses, hanging out in these, you know, little alleys by the trash cans. They're laughing, they're having a good time. There's a couple of little highness. So I'm like, man, all right, there's a school somewhere. And these kids got out of school, or I don't know why they're hanging there, but I watched these 3 kids walk through Home Depot, and they put their backpacks off somewhere, so they're just walking through all Home Depot aisles, thugged out, choloed out. I didn't think much of it. I was like, bro, they're kids, bro. They're not gonna bang on me. I'm not worried about that. Even if they did recognize me, they were young, bro. They were like under 17, And then when I go to the back to look at some of the stuff, the kids are right there and they were mobbing. Now security shows up and I guess they got chewed out for walking through Home Depot not really doing nothing. So what they did is they're and behind Home Depot, wherever that, how it was gated off, all the extra supplies, they just slid through it. Like they pushed the gate open, slid through, and they were kicking it with the rest of those kids. So these kids were just thugging it out in Home Depot, just mobbing, mugging people, mugging older dudes and mugging older women, mugging the women that were there to look for daddies and look for husbands because it's Home Depot, so they want a man that can build stuff for them and fix their sink, that kind of thing. And I didn't think much of it. I got my stuff and I bounced. But you're going to see a lot of these young kids, they're tough and they're going to be tough in the same way that we grew up to act tough and be tough and present ourselves to others as being the tough kids of the neighborhood. And that's what these kids did. And they went to that extreme, though, to catch one of the older dudes from a rival neighborhood slipping and jump him. Now, it could have went both ways. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of older homies that have been there and done that. That been to prison, or even they haven't been to prison. They just didn't make it to prison, but they've been in brawls in their neighborhood. They've been in one-on-ones. They fought people in the backyard. They did all kinds of stuff, so they know their level of, experience. They know how to fight. They know how to put it down. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of older men in this audience right here that's going to be watching this video that would see this video and be like, bro, I'd be damned if 3 young kids rush me and jump me and they get away with it. Not even get away with it if they even knock me down. It's a sad reality. Some people get older and they might not fight. Some people get older and may not have the ability to fight no more because they're older, work, laying down, relaxing, reclining, living the normal life, the good life. But these youngsters were capable of doing it. But imagine 3 youngsters running up on an OG that's been there and done that. See, they pointed out a dude that ran, a dude that fell, a dude that didn't put up a fight. For probably his own personal reasons, he probably didn't want to fight back and hit some young kids. But the dude had a right to defend himself, even if it is over gang politics and gang territories. But there's going to be a lot of older men that are going to be mature in their growth and mature in their identity as a man. They won't fight these youngsters. They have no business fighting these youngsters, and they know that. And they're going to look at it like, that's less than. I'm better than that. I'm a grown man. I'm in my 30s. I don't need to jeopardize my livelihood, my family at home, and my freedom because young kids don't have no guidance and direction, and they have no sense of direction of what they're going to do with their life because they're too busy wearing pro clubs, Cortezes, hairnets, and just want to be impressive for social media purposes and for their neighborhood. That's as far as these kids are going to go. And it's kids like this that were recording and jump random older dudes in public to look cool and end up in the juvenile system, then end up on youth offender programs going to prison. And in prison, what else do you have to aspire to be? A politician, a shot caller, a gang leader, or a big homie. You're going to reduce your chances for all these kids out there. You're going to reduce your chances. The more you think the tough guy act is more important than your education, than your family values, than your self-worth. Period. Because I was that kid. I wanted to be the toughest kid. I would jump. I didn't jump older homies like that. I tried. Like I said, I told a story about a Southsider. He spit a noogie in my face and had me at point blank because me trying to be a tough guy to an older dude. I've been beat up by my older homies. I've been deemed by my older homies on the streets. Trying to be the tough kid and trying to look cool and jumping somebody. Yeah, you may walk out with this victory, this win. You didn't take a L in this situation. But don't forget, there's a lot of other homies out there, bigger homies, older men, that ain't going to let you approach them in that matter, in that sense, or in that fashion, and you don't think they're not going to respond? Because every man has a right to defend himself. Whether you're a gang member, whether you're a regular civilian, whether you're a store owner or a street vendor, somebody's going to have the heart and the willpower to fight back. And these 3 youngsters could have got it bad. Or they could have approached an OG, an older dude from a neighborhood, that knows the street life, that knows the gang territories, that knows the street politics. Like every corner, he had to worry about looking over his shoulder and watching his back. So everybody in today's society has a thing on them. They keep it on them. These 3 kids are going to be like, man, let's be cool today. Let's jump this dude from our rival enemies. And then these 3 kids get gunned down because this dude just got out of jail. Or this dude's been waiting to catch more bodies. He just been getting away with it for quite some time. You don't know who you're confronting when you indulge and instigate gang situations. You never know. I never did. Every outcome where I came out with a win could have been an L for me. Every time I try to run up on that Southside that put me at gunpoint when I was like 13 years old could have shot me dead right there. It would have been a win for him because I had a red hat, a red belt, some brown pants, red shoelaces. He could have domed me right there because I wanted to be disrespectful because he was wearing all blue. Dude was like in his 20s. I'm 13 years old. I ain't even got a mustache. I ain't got no pubic hairs on my upper lip. Is that a thing? Or whatever. Little mustache, little fuzz, or whatever. Roast me in the comment section. I know you guys are going to do that. But I had no fuzz on my upper lip. I could have died that day. I could have died in many situations where I was 15 years old with a 20 gauge single barrel shotgun shooting through people's homes. Walking around with a pocket full of shells. Dumping in behind fools' backyards, just shattering their windows. All the times that I've ever did it just to be cool. There's going to be somebody in your life. And you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be confrontational with any gang rivalry. And you're going to meet your match. My mom used to always tell me that as a kid. You think you're big and bad, but there's always going to be somebody bigger and better than you. And I learned that through the years. It didn't humble me for a very long time. My recent situation is what humbled me for finally, after a very long time. But there's going to be a lot of kids that die and lose their lives, end up in the grave, because instigating a situation and promoting a gang war for social media purposes, you're going to put yourself in a wreck. Because like my mom said, there's always somebody bigger and better than you. And you're going to confront an older person that has years of doing this, that has years being in the battlefield, that has years of being in prison, that won't hesitate. Because sometimes in this lifestyle, what you learn is you learn how to react faster. Because you already been through it. You already know how to react when somebody shoots at you, when somebody pulls up on you, to recognize if they have a pistol, if there's any tension surrounding you in your area. These kids, they're too ambitious nowadays. Way too ambitious. They're going to their rival neighborhoods and recording the street sound like, yeah, I'm out here, bro. I'm out here. What do you do, bro? Where you guys at? I don't see nobody, man. There could be somebody in the bushes. There could be somebody around the corner tagging, and he hears that. I'm like, what? I've been waiting to catch one of these dudes slipping. See, as a young kid like these kids, I know what it's like not to think it through. There's going to be a lot of kids in this generation that are not going to think it through. And you don't want to spend the rest of your life in prison wishing that you thought it through. Because like I said, these 3 kids got away with it. They got their 15 minutes of fame. They got their publications. They got their followers, their likes, their comments, people in their DMs. Like, yeah, you did that, homie. You did that. Just remember, there's youngsters that are just like you, that are willing to do the same thing or take it even a little bit further. And it's going to be you on that ground getting stomped out. Or it's going to be you on the ground with a white sheet covering your body and your mom has to cry and pick up your body and identify your body. Then it's going to be somebody like me that does these kind of things for a living, talks about it on YouTube, and I got to tell the mistakes that you made and outline the mistakes that you made and what you could have did different to make a difference, to make sure the next kid doesn't put himself in a predicament to get gunned down or jump somebody. Because that's somebody that you jump. Maybe this OG didn't retaliate. Maybe he wasn't about that life like that, and he just like, damn, you guys caught him slipping and made it look good. But you're going to do that to somebody in this gang culture. And in this gang culture, retaliation is a must. That's what they promote every single chance they get. You may hurt that man, he might not come back for you, but his homies will. Or he might come back at you with his homies or by himself. But that was more important to you in that given moment because kids live in the moment. Yeah, I put it down. I socked this fool out. He's from my enemy's hood. Yeah, I did that. Well, just remember, what goes around comes around. The way you put hands on somebody, somebody's going to do it back to you. And the way you knock this dude down and embarrass him, some men, even if they're older, even if they've matured, won't live with that kind of embarrassment. And will come back and gun you down for the things that you did and the choices that you made in life. For what? Because where does it end? You knocked him down because he's an enemy for your hood. He comes back, kills you for his hood, for disrespecting his hood. Then your homies go kill one of his. And eventually, people will stop shooting each other at some point. So what does your death really mean? What was that retaliation? What did it really benefit? Do you really want it to be where you're already dead and you can't rectify the situation and you can't fix the problem? You can't do it no more. You're already dead because you put yourself in a predicament by being the tough guy, wanting to act hard, wanting to impress other people. You prioritize that tough act too much, like we did. But a lot of us have managed to survive. A lot of us have managed to make it out in the game. A lot of us have managed to make it out of those prison cells and can preach this kind of testimony to you. That tough guy's all it's going to do is just dig a hole deeper for yourself until eventually you're the one laying in it. and people are burying you, and your mom's there to cry over your dead body because the tough guy act was all that mattered to you. So to the kids out there really listening or paying attention, or to the parents that are showing these videos to your kids, that tough guy act, trust me, it is not worth it in the end. It looks cool. It looks impressive. You're going to get a couple of girls' numbers. You might get laid from it. You might get a pat on your back from your homies. But as cliche as it sounds, death or jail is the only outcome when it comes to this lifestyle. So think about what you do and think it through before you do it. So with that being said, like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Peace.